Thank you. Can you hear me well? I think so. Okay, good. So, in order to understand how to tailor my presentation, I would like to put you a couple of simple questions at the beginning. How many of you know what ISTQB is? Most of you. Are you ISTQB certified as well? Some of you. Okay. So, I will give a very general introduction about ISTQB, although the speech of today is mainly dedicated to the new product portfolio of ISTQB. So the speech of today is especially intended for people which are already cognizant, which already know ISTQB and what it is, and want to understand where ISTQB is going, and so what kind of additional certification will be available for you in your organization and your professionals in the future. Before getting into ISTQB in details, I would like to give you a few data about the testing market. These are data which are taken from quite recent and independent surveys which are being conducted. And as you can see, the overall market of software testing has reached a size which is enormous, 60 billion euro worldwide. It's very big. And at the same time, it's a market that keeps on growing. Keeps on growing in double digit. So with a growth which is really, really strong, especially if we consider that this growth applies on a volume which is already quite big. So in the last 2 years, the software testing market has grown at a pace of around 10-12% year over year, and the prediction for the future are even for a stronger growth in the years to come. So a growth which will be around 14-15% year over year for the next 5 years. So this is good news for all of us, for all the people which are working in the software testing domain, because we see a market which is already very solid and which has still a lot of room to grow additionally. Within this growth, which are the trends that we can observe? These are some data which are taken from the World Software Quality Report, which is a free report that you can get each year, and that, let's say, makes a survey among the IT managers and the CIO of the most important companies in the world to understand how they apply the testing and software quality practices in general. The first data, which is very impressive, is that within these companies, I'm referring typically to large corporations, more than 1/3 of the IT budget is today dedicated to software testing activities, which is quite large. The size of testing is increasing so much that test automation is increasing additionally with a strong growth in order to try to reduce, in any case, the impact of manual activities. And which are the trends which are pushing this additional strengthening of testing activities? First of all, the digital transformation. So I think that in the agenda of every company today, you find that priority number 1 or 2 is the digital transformation of business, which brings a lot of new applications, and as well the need for a new kind of testing, the usability testing aspect, the UX testing. That some years ago was something which was limited to very, very few, very specific applications, and that today is becoming an area of testing which is becoming really widespread and so much more developed. I think that we don't have to comment on the fact that Agile and DevOps have become state of the art. ISTQB has recently done a survey within its population of certified people, and in this survey we saw that the majority of people today are working in agile context rather than in conventional software development, in V-cycle or other kind of software development life cycles. So it's clear that this brings also changes needed and new approaches and new ways of doing in the testing area. And especially we observe today a lack of professional with agile testing expertise, which is referred as one of the top 3 challenges in this report in the continuous growth of agile practices. Finally, mobile testing. Again, mobile is, I think, nowadays no longer a special thing. All our companies, our customers need to have a mobile channel on which most of them do a significant part of their business, and more they will do. So mobile testing again has become another area of testing which is really popular and really widespread. And this report tells us that 92% of the interviewed organizations are applying mobile testing in a structured way, and this is consuming more than 1/3 of the budget for new projects within their organizations. Why am I mentioning these aspects? Because we, as ISTQB, have been renowned in the last 15 years to be, I would say, the reference worldwide for the testing methodologies and the testing techniques for the, let's say, standard testing practices. Okay? Now the movement that ISTQB is doing is to continue investing in what is the traditional testing approach, and for this reason I will explain that we are renewing several of our syllabi and exams, but in addition we want to be close to the market, and so to offer to you the possibility to have also some specialized syllabi and specialized exam and specialized certifications on the topics which today are the most required by the market. So this is quite an important change of our product portfolio that I will explain to you later on, and that comes exactly from this kind of market considerations. There is one question which I'm often asked when me or some colleagues of mine, ISTQB, we are asked to do this kind of presentation, which is, but is certification really, does it provide a good return on investment or not? And I must admit that there is even some controversial subjects on this topic, with people saying that certification is not the right thing to do and that there are other ways to do things. Of course, we respect the ideas of everybody. Our goal is not to do a lot of certifications. We are a not-for-profit organization, so we collect the, let's say, the exam fees in order to have new budget for new investment, but we are not a for-profit company. So you will see that our motto is to advance the software testing profession, and this is why we want to provide more and more syllabi knowledge in the market that people can freely download and can use at their own will. This is one important characteristic of ISTQB. We will see later on that ISTQB today has done close to 500,000 certified people worldwide in 15 years. But to give you an idea, our most widespread document, which is the foundation syllabus, only in 1 year, last year, has been downloaded more than 1 million times by people worldwide, which didn't have to spend 1 cent or even to register or to give their emails or whatsoever in order to get it. So this gives you a little bit the idea of what is the priority for us. But still, there are people which are asking us, is certification paying off? Well, we have found a statistic which has been elaborated by Capers-Jones. For those of you that are aware of Capers-Jones, so it's one of, I would consider one of the most renowned person in the software engineering economics arena. He has collected a big number of data from multiple projects in several years, and in this data he's doing a lot of correlations to understand what is the impact of software engineering practices on the productivity of a project. So is it a practice providing a good impact, a neutral impact, or a bad impact on productivity? And in his research, he's not focusing on testing. He has let's say, a set of 300 practices which go from requirements engineering to different technologies, to the whole SDLC, how is it organized, and the capability of people. So it's really a very big one. But among these, there are also some which are strictly related to testing. So I'm mentioning this. In accordance to this analysis that you can find here, again, if you go in the website of Capers-Jones, there is a lot of documentation which is freely available. Having a team of people doing testing which is experienced, which is really experienced, provides on average a 12% improvement in productivity with respect to the nominal situation, so to the average of a project. Doing testing by certified test personnel provides a 7% improvement, whereas you see that we have also some practices that we could refer as deprecated, like testing by developers only, or informal test case design, or unexperienced test teams, which on the other side provide, as one would expect, a detrimental impact on the productivity, various percentages, up until one of the most deprecated practices in testing, which is truncating testing to meet schedule irrespective of the quality level that has been reached by the application, which, if you look at the total cost of ownership of the application, so not only in the development phase, but taking into account also the post-release maintenance, produce in the end an overhead of close to 50% more cost than it would be otherwise. So we are not saying that testing by certified personnel is the silver bullet, is the mantra. We just report the data that says that it gives a positive contribution in the productivity of project as well. So ISTQB, since most of you know, but just I repeat for the other people, is today by far the largest testing certification scheme in the world, and it in practice has become an international de facto standard reference on, let's say, these kind of things. And to the best of our knowledge, if you look at the technology independent certification schemes, so schemes which are not related to a specific technology, but rather to, let's say, a more methodological aspects, in accordance to our record, ISTQB is the third one in the world after PMI and ITIL. So these are the last data which have been officially published by ISTQB and which applies at the end of December 2016, which tell us that as of date 700,000 exams have been taken worldwide, with about 500,000 certifications which have been issued. And in accordance to the trends that we can observe today, in the last years, if we do an extrapolation, our, let's say, lines tell us that we should reach the 1 million people, professional certified in at least one of the various ISTQB modules within 2019, which is not so far away from now. So, just to give you some additional information, in the second half of last year, we had close to 50,000 exams. Today, we have issued certificates in 117 countries in the world. And it means this, that ISTQB today is very widespread. Maybe 5-8 years ago, we had 3-4 big countries, India, UK, Germany. But now, the footprint of ISTQB is really worldwide. And I would say that especially what we call the medium-sized boards, like Poland, like Russia, which is growing quite a lot, like, let's say, also China and USA and South America are growing a lot. So the phenomenon is really has become worldwide. And one of the things that we are also quite happy is that 1.5 years ago, approximately, we launched in the market an Agile Foundation extension. So in order to take it, you must have first the Foundation certification, then you can go to the Agile one. And the return that we have from the market in terms of people which have decided to subscribe to this exam is very positive. So in, I repeat, 1.5 years, we have already done more than 10,000 exams in 36 boards with a strong growth year over year, as it is obvious. So this is today the map of where ISTQB is. Well, as a matter of fact, ISTQB today is worldwide, because you can see that the countries in blue are the one where we have a local board which is officially representing ISTQB, organizing conferences, translating the syllabi in their own languages, managing exams, and so on and so forth. But we have also 3 global exam providers which can provide online exam worldwide, both in the countries where there is a board and especially in those countries, which are the one in gray, where there is not a local board. So today we have exams in the Philippines or in Africa or in Saudi Arabia, even if we don't have yet a board there. Some things that I would like to remember to you. What is the main product of ISTQB? The main product of ISTQB are the syllabi. The syllabi are documents which describe the various testing techniques, which are organized in K levels in a way which is quite well defined in our scheme. These syllabi are written by testing experts and are continuously renewed and improved. And we have another thing, which is the ISTQB glossary, which is a compendium of all the terms which are used throughout the various ISTQB syllabi, which I think is another document which is quite worthwhile. The important thing, as I said before, is that all these documents are completely available for free. So you go on the ISTQB website or on the website of your local board, and you can get the English version or the translated version on the website of your board without having to register, without having to do anything. Just click and download it. Now let's come to, let me say, the evolution of our scheme. First of all, let's say that historically ISTQB has defined 3 levels of certification: the Foundation 1, which is the starting point, Advanced level, and Expert level. And historically, this Foundation, Advanced, and Expert were quite generalist. Okay, so they were not specialized by industry, they were not specialized by techniques, by whatever. So we're really, I would say, generalist, and I say it in a positive point of view, so that they were and are generally applicable in our context. The current evolution of ISTQB, and this is where I will focus during the rest of my presentation, is that we decided to make the scheme evolve towards the situation where we keep the 3 levels, but we specialized, I would say, them into 3 main streams. The core one, and the core stream, is the classic, I would say, ISTQB 1, the Agile stream, that we think is so important that we don't want to stop with 1 syllabus only, but we want to have a series of syllabi dedicated to the Agile quality aspects, and a specialist stream. So we can find a combination of Foundation, Advanced, and Expert with the verticals which are Agile, Core, and Expert. But I think that the picture normally helps more than a lot of talks. So this is the current product portfolio of ISTQB. It contains, it's a bit small, so I will help you maybe in reading some of the things which are written in the box, and it's available in the documentation. So here you can see mainly the starting point for ISTQB, which is the famous Certified Tester Foundation level, on which we are currently working to have a new version which will fix and extend it, taking into account the evolution of testing practices which has happened in the last years, because this syllabus now it's 6 years old, so it's important to have a new version which will come to market in a reasonable amount of time. And then here in the core part we have what the classical ISTQB thing. so the advanced level test manager, test analyst, and technical test analyst, and the 2 expert level on test management and improving the test process. So core part is the one that you have always been used to look at. The 2 new parts are the Agile stream and the specialist stream. On the Agile stream, we have 1 module which has already been in existence, available in the market since a couple of years now, which is the Agile Foundation. But we are now complementing with 2 more syllabi and exams at advanced level. One which is more focused on technical aspects of doing Agile, doing testing and quality assurance and control in an Agile context. Another one which is more related to organizational aspects around these subjects. The first one, the technical, is quite advanced, it's quite in a good shape. So we think that it could be available by the end of next year. The other one will follow 1 year later. The other big news, and you can see also by the number of blocks that you see here, is the specialist. On the specialist, let's start from the top. We have 2 syllabi which are already available, so you can download them and you can try to take exam. I would say why I say try. One is related to security testing and the other one to test automation. They have been recently released. I'm talking about let's say the last months of last year. So they have a few months of infancy. They are dedicated to a population of people which is very, I would say, which is a bit niche, especially for security testing. So what is currently happening is that almost all the boards worldwide are doing the go-to-market of the test automation one. So within the next months, it's very likely that you will find the possibility to do the test automation exam with many boards worldwide. The security tester for the first years, I think that will be managed by our exam providers worldwide, the online ones, and by some of the boards which are placed in countries like Germany, like UK, like India, where the population of people willing to take this kind of exam is bigger. This is something that you will have to be a little bit ready for the future. We have been used so far that each board in the world was offering all the possible ISTQB exams. The more we go towards a specialized topic, the more we may have an availability which is not in all the countries by all the boards. So in some cases, you may have to go through the online exam providers which are acting worldwide. Then let's go and to see what's going on here. This is an area of the specialist foundation where we have quite a lot of activities. Unfortunately, you cannot read it, I realize it now. But let's say we have one which is available, which is model-based testing, and others which are under development. So here I'm telling you more what you will get in the next months and years, but not yet things that you can take the exam tomorrow. But let's see where ISTQB is aiming to. Okay? So the topics on which we are working are usability testing, which is in beta version today. Then one which is dedicated, and this is the first time for ISTQB that we go in this direction, is dedicated to a specific application domain, which is automotive. So we have a syllabus dedicated to automotive testing, which is developed in swift cooperation with the German testing board. This will not be a surprise for you, considering the importance of the automotive industry in Germany. Then we have another one which is dedicated to mobile application testing and performance testing. So you can see quite a lot of new things which cover quality characteristics like security, usability, performance, some application domains, and some general topics like test automation, which is quite important and widespread. Our goal is not to add many more blocks in this product portfolio, but we think it's already quite robust and quite big, but to manage in the best possible way in terms of quality, in terms of go-to-market, in terms of assistance to the various boards, the go-to-market of the ones that you see here. So we think that for the next 3-4 years, this is the product portfolio which is going to stay. Maybe we could add another one, but not really think which change the picture dramatically. I would like to conclude with a mention of another subject on which ISTQB has invested in the last years, and that is gaining momentum, which is the so-called partner program. So what is important for you to remember is that the ISTQB certification stay with the person. So if a person takes an exam and today is working for company A and tomorrow leaves and goes to company B, the certification stays with the person and is not related to the company. Still, we have companies which have decided to invest heavily on ISTQB, typically to provide a common language to all the people working in testing in their companies. So which have literally dozens or even hundreds of people which have undergone the ISTQB certification, which have been typically sponsored by the companies. And so we have had a lot of companies which have asked us a way to possibly be recognized as companies in which the number of ISTQB certified people is significant. So this is the goal of a partner program, which is something which does not apply to the individual but applies to companies. Thanks to company in this partner program, what happens is that depending on the number of people and the level of certifications that they have in the company can get a status of silver, gold, platinum partner with ISTQB, which is a recognition of the fact that there is a number of certified people working for this company. There is no assessment, there is no endorsement on our side on the fact that the processes are good or whatsoever. It's not a process certification or anything else. Okay? So this is more or less what I wanted to tell you today. So to step back to the main, I would say, topics that I would like you to remember. First, that ISTQB aims to continue in providing free of charge for all the testing community what we hope is a good quality syllabi. But today we are investing a lot in two directions. The first one is the renewal and refresh, I would say, of a core part. The second, in three directions, so refresh of a core part, strengthening of the agile part, going to advanced level, and providing new syllabi which are related to various specializations by domain or by quality characteristic. In this way, we hope to continue the success that ISTQB has had in the last years, which you have seen as marked by the increasing number of certification, and especially what we are, I would say, even more proud of, apart from the numbers, is the fact that the phenomenon is really has become worldwide and widespread. So it's no longer concentrated in some countries, but is really a global aspect. So I've been good enough to, let's say, conclude my basic speech 10 minutes in advance before the end of the session. So I can get into some more details of some aspects, or I'm even, let me say, available for some questions of you. We have some good time for question time if you want.